Всем привет, дополнить YouTube, с вами я, VERTIGOSHOW, мы с вами продолжаем проходить Dragon Age Inquisition. Короче, что у нас было в прошлой серии? Ничего, одни разговоры, и как бы дальше идем по квесту, что-то собирать жриц этих храмовников хотим. Какие-то возмущения, как бы ничего, просто кал какой-то был и все. Все, бери что-то покушай, попить, приятного просмотра и аппетита. Сразу же говорю, у меня негативное сейчас настроение. Кто смотрел пятую серию по метро, тот понимает почему. Тоже как-то Dragon Age все время везет на то, что у меня плохое настроение. И именно в этот момент я играю в эту игру. Короче, все, тоже не удивляйтесь, если я буду возмущаться из-за херни какой-то. И как раз, знаете, вот самое то, проверить, будут ли у меня здесь фризы, потому что у меня просто так были фризы в метро без каких-либо причин. Все, погнали, короче. Если будут фризы, то тогда я успокоюсь в плане того, что это, скорее всего, железо, и ему надо дать отдохнуть. Потому что там уже несколько дней оно как бы в работе прям. Так, и чё? Для каких целей сюда пришел? Ну и... Это и есть это письмо? Ну я вижу, а как это открыть? Паркур? Так я не понимаю прикола. Я не помню управление, но может я что-то не понимаю. Блин, неподходящий момент игра, ты мне начинаешь бесить. Я просто вспомнил кнопку, которой где надо... Я слышу, что оно висит, свистит, вот это вся. А мне надо было изучить просто. Бесит, 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 бесит. Не знаю, зачем это изучаю. Фу, короче, идем по сюжету и все. Что ты продаешь, мразь? Ладно, я, короче, немножко там понакуплял им кольца, пояса и приодел, короче, Вин Дизеля. И да, он немножко стал сильнее. Слышь, у меня, короче, игра тоже фризит. Ты понял? Короче, все окей. Это проблема в железе, ему надо дать просто отдохнуть. И все. Ну, это как бы ожидаемо. Но все равно, минус вайбик какой-то. То есть, в предыдущий день он хорошо работал, а тут он решил повозмущаться. Типа, дай мне отдохнуть, да? Гениальный он тип. Так, мне надо, получается, еще на второй этаж, да? Наверное, через эти херни. Вообще ни с кем не хочу общаться. Я просто буду, типа, квесту и всех игнорить. Ну, если меня будут нагинать, такова судьба. У меня 40 влияний. Я точно немножко продвинусь по сюжету. Выпусти меня отсюда, переместиться. Там какая-то фигня. Вот она. Так, и чё?
If I might have a moment of your time.
Какой же я ужасен! Почему я так одет?
I heard of this gathering, and I wanted to see the fabled Herald of Andraste with my own eyes. If it's help with the breach you seek, perhaps my people are the wiser option.
I'm surprised the leader of the mages wasn't at the conclave.
Yes, you were supposed to be, and yet somehow you avoided death.
As did the Lord Seeker, you'll note. Both of us sent negotiators in our stead in case it was a trap. I won't pretend I'm not glad to live. I lost many dear friends that day. It disgusts me to think the Templars will get away with it. I'm hoping you won't let them.
So you think the Templars are responsible?
Why wouldn't she?
Lucius hardly seems broken up over his losses, if he's concerned about them at all. You heard him. You think he wouldn't happily kill the divine to turn people against us? So yes, I think he did it. More than I think you did it, at any rate.
And what do you want in exchange for the mage's help?
Oh, I haven't promised the Inquisition our help yet. Consider this an invitation to Red
Ты
Cliff.
дура? Ты тут приходишь, унижаешься и хочешь нам помочь? А теперь ты еще выебываешься.
See you there. Au revoir, my Lord Herald.
Come, let us return to Haven.
У него такие зрачки, конечно, расширенные. Я не знаю, меня этот перс бесит. Я не знаю, меня все бесит. Вообще ни с кем не хочу общаться. Хочу просто пройти эту игру и все, исчезнуть из этой жизни, как бы. Это чё? Это не то. Огромный дворик. Это чё вообще такое? Ну ладно, погнали. Это, наверное, те письма. Ну окей, давай, окей. Мне кажется, я буду Инквизицию проходить очень долго, потому что мне вообще не хочется ее играть. Вот вообще ноль желаний. Да, слышь? У меня фризит игра, ты прикинь? Короче, все, окей. Подтверждение на 1000000%, то, что это из-за железа моего, тоже все. Я отчасти спокоен, хотя я отчасти возмущен. Ну ладно, это была ошибка записывать, надо было ему дать отдохнуть. Что-то он, походу, не справляется.
How much did you expend to discover me? It must have weakened the Inquisition immeasurably.
Ты кто такой?
Know who you are.
You don't fool me. I'm too important for this to be an accident.
Это когда тебе внимание, короче, не удивляет, и ты тут решил устроить цирк.
You elsewhere.
Just say what?
What is that?
А он так выебывался.
Wishy one, but you heard me, right? Just say what? Rich tits always try for more than they deserve. Blah, blah, blah. Obey me. Arrow in my face.
Новая напарница?
Notes well enough.
То есть я мог ее скипнуть. Вот мне просто игра дает намек, исследуй мир, а я такой, я не хочу. Но тебе надо, а я такой, нет. И в итоге я исследую.
I mean, it's all good, isn't it? The important thing is you glow. You're the herald thingy.
Some believe I'm the Herald of Andraste. But who are you, and what's this about?
No idea. I don't know this idiot from Manners. My people just said the Inquisition should look at him.
Your people? Elves?
No. People. Name's Sarah. This is cover. Get round it.
Но она такая тоже сосочка. С ней тоже можно просто покуролесить и все.
They've got no breaches.
Why didn't you take their weapons?
Because no breaches.
Но они какие-то слабые. Как будто я зашел и стал каким-то сильным. Давно я сильный? Алло, а чё мы все такие мощные вдруг стали?
Friends really came through with that tip. No breaches. So, Herald of Andraste. You're a strange one. I'd like to join.
Ема, ты, конечно, губы бог так сам накачала.
All I know about you or your group is that I followed a random trail into a trap.
What trap? You knocked, he crapped. Look, it's like this. I sent you a note to look for hidden stuff by my friends. The Friends of Red Jenny. That's me. Well, I'm one. So is a fence in Montfort, some woman in Kirkwall. There were 3 in Starkhaven, brothers or something. It's just a name, yeah? It lets little people, friends, be part of something while they stick it to nobles they hate. So here, in your face, I'm Sarah. The Friends of Red Jenny are sort of out there. I used them to help you. Plus arrows.
The Inquisition has spies already. Can you add to these professionals?
Here's how it is. You important people are up here, shoving your cods around, blah blah, I'll crush you, ooh, crush you. Then you've got
Короче, дамочка на приколе. Наподобие как Варик, да?
Or was he one of the little knives, all serious with his little knife? All those secrets, and what gave him up? Some houseboy who don't know shite, but knows a bad person when he sees one. So no, I'm not knifey shiv dark, all hidden. If you don't listen down here too, you risk your breeches. Like those guards, I stole their... Look, do you need people or not? I want to get everything back to normal. Like you.
So who are your friends of Red Jenny? You must know them.
Oh, it's not hard to understand if you're not trying to waste your day on it. Someone little always hates someone big. And unless you don't eat, sleep or piss, you're never far from someone little. Doesn't always work out, but a lot of people hated this guy. Someone got a laugh, someone got even, someone got paid. And someone has to have explained to them that free help is good.
Back there you wanted to know if I glowed. Why?
That's what you do, innit? You walked out of somewhere and now you glow. Andraste's herald. True or not, it seemed like the easiest way to know it was you.
True or not?
Well, that's what they say and all. Look, don't get ahead, yeah? I want to help this... whatever it is. Inquisition.
You sound like a thief who acts out petty revenge fantasies. And that might be bad.
Oh, right. You want to prop that guy up so I can say my sorries? Bad things should happen to bad people. We find someone not so bad, maybe he'll end up not so dead. Good enough?
You say that like it's obvious, but you didn't know him.
I knew about him.
That's just rumor.
Look, I'd have been fine stripping his guards and nicking his stuff. Turns out he deserved worse. Or was him trying to kill you a good thing? Are you the baddie? Didn't think so.
All right, Sarah. I can use you and your friends.
Yes! Getting good before you're too big to like. That'll keep your breeches where they should be. Plus extra breeches because I have all these... You have merchants who buy that piss, yeah? Got to be worth something. Anyway, Haven. See you there, Herald. This will be grand.
Прикольно. Да, достижение. Подожди. Все, я понял. Забываю, что надо вот так. Хотя можно? Нельзя. Ну все, вместо Варика теперь вот это. Мадам. С луком. Плюс влияние. Ну окей. Вот прям, знаете, он дает мне такие намеки, ну, исследовать мир как бы надо. А я такой, ну я не хочу. А они мне такие, мне поебать. Исследую, либо все проебешь. Я такой, блять. Ладно, у нас еще одна встреча получается. Погнали, какая-то чародейка. Окей, let's go. Какие-то встречи опять, какие-то тайны. Что все хотят от меня? У меня негативные эмоции сегодня. Я своему железу не даю уже как какое-то время отдохнуть, и он мне теперь приколы дает. И теперь я злюсь из-за этого. Это восстание машин.
A pleasure, sir. We so rarely have a chance to meet anyone new. It is always the same crowd at these parties. So you must be a guest of Madame de Fer. Or are you here for Duc Bastien?
Are you here on business? I have heard the most curious tales of you. I cannot imagine half of them are true.
What have you heard about me?
Some say that when the veil opened, Andraste herself delivered you from the Fade.
I'm not familiar with that name. I was invited here by First Enchanter Vivienne.
Madame de Fer is a fond...
Вивьен, это кто вообще? Я вообще не помню.
I've heard she finds it amusing.
I've heard very little about Duc Bastien.
He hasn't been seen much at court lately.
His business with the Council of Heralds often takes him from home for long periods. It can't be good for a man of his years.
And of course, there's the Civil War. Bastien probably wishes to distance himself from the actions of his one-time son-in-law.
Tearing up the Dales in a foolish bid for power? It will end in disgrace for Gaspard. Everyone knows it.
Some of those storytellers may have gotten carried away.
But only for the best effect. The Inquisition is a ripe subject for wild tales.
The Inquisition. What a lot of pig shit. Washed up sisters and crazed seekers. No one can take them seriously. Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
I've never made any claims to holiness. What's your point?
In front of all these people, you admit to being a pretentious usurper. We know what your Inquisition truly is. If you were a man of honor, you'd step outside and answer the charges.
Опять какой-то нищий со мной хочет разобраться.
How unkind of you to use such language in my house to my guests.
Блин, я на секунду подумал, голос знакомый.
This is intolerable.
Потом увидел ее и что-то передумал.
Madame Vivienne, I humbly beg your pardon.
You should.
Где я мог слышать это имя?
Whatever am I going to do with you, my dear? My lord, you're the wounded party in this unfortunate affair. What would you have me do with this foolish, foolish man?
He insulted my honor. I want him.
Не, ну а чё?
And this, Marquis, is why one must always be courteous.
Я негатив сегодня. Он как бы не тот день выбрал для оскорбления меня.
Someone be a dear and clean this mess up. We can't have him cluttering up the dance floor. I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've so wanted to meet you.
Ты хочешь тоже ко мне в команду? Я за. Вместо Лысого.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Vivienne, first enchanter of Montsimard, and enchantress to the Imperial Court.
Давай, порассказывай мне, тебя из-за цвета кожи взяли. Еще скажи, что мы тут сериал снимаем. Нет, Фликс. Я так мило это произнес, как будто, знаете. Еще слово проглотил, букву.
Duels are not fought in the drawing room. By Chevalier code, his life was forfeit from the moment his hand fell to his hilt.
You invited me here. What is it you want?
I wanted to meet face to face. It is important to consider one's connections carefully. With divine Justinia dead, the Chantry is in shambles. Only the Inquisition might...
Я бы и в губки зарядил бы свой меч.
As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
А, реально? Мать тоже хочет в команду. Ля, я надеюсь, я не скипну вот это сердечко.
What's in this for you?
The same thing anyone gets by fighting this chaos. The chance to meet...
Так, у меня сейчас пати женщин будет. Неплохих, как бы, красивых. Однако.
Are you devout? What's your opinion of the Chantry?
I was a great admirer of the late divine Justinia V. The Chantry, at its best, unites the disparate cultures of Thedas and looks after its most vulnerable. Had she lived, Justinia could have accomplished so much.
What exactly can you do for the Inquisition?
I am well versed in the politics of the Orlesian Empire. I know every member of the Imperial Court personally. I have all the resources remaining to the Circle at my disposal. And I'm a mage of no small talent. Will that do?
You are aware that the Chantry hasn't sanctioned this Inquisition.
The Chantry is leaderless. They're in no position to officially sanction anything. Besides, my dear, if there is one virtue the Chant of Light teaches us, it is forgiveness. Once the Inquisition has sealed the breach, I'm sure the new Divine will not care in the slightest about official permission.
Does that mean you'd be aiding the Inquisition from the Imperial Palace?
Ordinarily, I would be happy to serve as liaison to the court, but these are not ordinary times. The veil has been ripped apart and there is a hole in the sky. It is now the duty of every mage to work towards sealing the breach. And so I would join the Inquisition on the field of battle.
You say you led the last of the loyal mages. Loyal to whom?
To the people of Thedas, of course. We have not forgotten the commandment, as some have, that magic exists to serve man. I support any effort to restore such order.
So you're in favor of returning the mages to the Circle, then?
Where else can mages safely learn to master their talents? We need an institution to protect and nurture magic. Maker knows, magic will find neither on its own.
Is your interest in the Inquisition, Madame de Fer, or is it more personal?
Aren't you charming? It's professional, of course.
The Inquisition will be happy to have you, Lady Vivienne.
Great things are beginning.
Ты прикинь, как же я их буду доубить, если у меня получится, у меня же там волына. И вот меня игра тэпнула. Ладно, чё получается? Снова со всеми можно общаться или как?
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits, locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
At least I got everyone's attention.
That you did. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
The Conclave destroyed, a giant hole in the sky. Things aren't looking good.
Which is why we're needed. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
You've given this a lot of thought.
I know what happens when order is lost, and action comes too late. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Ryden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying. Did you need something?
Нихера себе, я могу сразу у него спросить. Давай общаться.
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't offer more than you already know. Anything else, I will answer as best I can.
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training.
Ема, сколько разговоров, я в шоке.
Among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy your training?
I wanted to learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful.
Почему он засунул свой рот в жопу и молчит? Он может громче говорить?
Wasn't the most exciting task. I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages. That sort of thing?
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter. Your first draft of lyrium. That's power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
You've lived in the Circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
Do Templars and mages never speak to each other?
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
Do the Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
What do you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession, at least.
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars of our local Chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
13. It's still so young.
Я прочитал 30.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend. Did you need something?
I should get to know you better. We're working together after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
Чё это такое? Алло.
I grew up in Ferelden.
Зачем мне это?
Transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the Blight. This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently, I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between mages and Templars fell apart. An apostate blew up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order. Red Lyrium had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith's suit.
Я тебя вообще не помню.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
Few who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
I'll let you return to your work.
Should you require anything, I'll be here. Was there something you needed?
Why would Templars break away from the Chantry?
The Order believes the Chantry no longer supports their efforts. Not to the extent they should.
But the Templars have served the Chantry for ages.
And in that time, they've come to take the Order's services for granted. Templars risk their lives against blood magic, demons, abominations, to feel as if those efforts are dismissed. I may disagree with the Order's actions, but I'm here as proof of that. I sympathize with their frustrations.
Is there anything I should know?
The Lord Seeker's actions are a mystery, but the Templars will aid us. They cannot sit idle while the breach remains.
What do you think of the people you work with?
What do you mean?
What do you think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
How do you like working with Liliana?
The Inquisition would not exist without her. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than anyone. Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, but Liliana is just as responsible for its formation.
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our numbers are small, but they suit our needs for the time being. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable in training new recruits.
I should let you get back to work.
There were so many questions surrounding Faria's death. Did he think we wouldn't notice? He's killed Faria, one of my best agents, and knows where the others are. You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once.
Glad to see traitors are dealt with quickly.
We must do whatever it takes to protect our interests. I am pleased that you agree.
I have no tolerance for traitors.
You take a harsh view, but I suppose that is the way in these troubled times. We will make the Inquisition a force to fear. Now, if you're happy, I have more work to do.
Не, ну а чё? Просто если щадите этих предателей, потом жопа будет.
Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages? Why do you care?
I've known mages. Some of them were better people than me. And yet I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
I'll leave you to...
Короче, я не буду с ней общаться, просто... я не помню, про что мы уже общались, я не хочу повторять разговоры. Тоже скипнем моментик. Так, подожди, вот с этой мы не общались, это вроде бы... А, это блондинка вроде бы. Да, эльфийка. Бухает здесь, да?
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. Hear that? I meant the stronghold, but it sounded like... Well, it's funny, right?
Ты пошлячка.
Stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
The Templars and the mages. Most people pick a side.
Most people are stupid.
But where do you stand on the war?
In the frigging middle with everyone else. You know what I hear about mages? Nothing, until one goes all demony. Know what I hear about Templars? Nothing, until they take maybe mages. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
Right. They should know it's a simple job. End all war, stitch the sky. The easy one first, of course.
You're daft, yeah? Most people get special, they lose their snark. Can't see how stupid it all is. I think I like you, Lord Herald. Maybe you're a little chosen, yeah?
I think I'll enjoy having you around, Sarah. I hope you'll feel the same.
Not even. Get to work, Herald. I'm gonna go kick someone out of a bed.
Меня отшили. Но я попытался. Угу.
Chasing the Lord Seeker, I hear. Anyone who thinks they need Lord in front of the name, that's bad. Bet he's got a portrait taller than he is. That's your first clue to a total arse. Fact.
You apparently have a lot of friends. Tell me about your network.
It's not mine, right? I mean, it is, but it's also everyone. Everyone who wants to shove it to nobles who hide behind gold and silk. And hats, I guess.
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, Red is scary because blood. And Jenny is... Look, nobody fears the bunch of people who do random stuff. And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe normal people can't get at them. Numbers, right? It don't have to be so complicated.
Doesn't this mean people think you're guilty of more than you actually do?
Suppose. Does it matter?
Shouldn't it?
Important people kill over imagined insults. I've made more than enough real ones, so no. I don't suppose it does.
Where are the people you promised?
If I knew, there wouldn't be much use. That's sort of the point. Look, unless your baddies are rocks or trees, they have people they use. Cooks, squires, wipers. Yeah, I know, wipers, right? You better believe the one with wipers deserve it, right in the... Well, anyway, the little people will be there when you need them, in a million little ways.
This doesn't seem like it would produce much in the way of results.
It's working for you. What, is every follower of yours a giant who does all things and knows your every move? Not your team of doers. I mean the people gathering. Is that normal because it's religious? Seems like that should make it weird.
Nope, still not making sense.
Doesn't have to. Take it or don't. Imagine you're looting random crates if you like. You seem to find that satisfying enough.
Are you just about pranks and revenge, or is there more to it?
Well, it's a weave, right? I grease a ballroom, so a wyvern chasing Git has to hunt Spraint. Strangely, handmaids leave his vault open. His heirlooms pay off someone else. Maybe clean streets in Kirkwall so someone gets something else. Pish, pish, pish. A lot of people eventually get help or a laugh. Or maybe someone dead, if they deserve it.
I'm glad I met you before someone decided what I deserved.
You're no hateful ass so far. I'd just get you with a pie or something. Anyway, assassin's a bard's job, innit? No fun that lot. They might plonk a noble, right? But only to raise another. Plus, I'm shy at singing.
We'll talk another time.
It's all good, innit? Chasing mages, that's a Templar's job. A big, armoured, pissed-off helm polisher. Not too late to go find some. Or stay home.
Tell me about yourself.
What about me?
You're skilled. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
It never occurred to you that doing what you do should require some effort?
Well, yeah. I practice. Some. Not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Is it an elf thing?
Most I know couldn't find an arrow sitting on it. Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
How about the
Ну такая, знаешь, она забавная такая, немножко ёбнутая, чем Варик.
Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
I expect more direct answers than that.
Which of this lot gave you straight answers? Not as many as you bloody well think, I guarantee. Look, I'm not from anywhere. No home, no castle, a few friends. It's complicated. I don't like complicated. Let's leave it.
Скорее всего, мы сейчас не пообщаемся и закончим на этом серию.
You're not like most of the elves I've met.
Thanks, right? Or was that an insult? Suppose I could go barefoot and whine more. Like that Solus, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
There's nothing to learn from any of that history.
Yes, don't do that. What? We lost so bad there was nothing left. You figure out what they wore on their deathbed. You wear it. Waste of time.
We'll talk later.
If you say so. Sir Lordy Bloomers.
Is the Inquisition what you thought it would be?
Calling an Inquisition is a bit much, isn't it? Does not even know what they're chasing. Fair question for me as well, I suppose. Everybody following a rumor. At least I'm used to that.
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Which? The ones who do things, or the ones who give orders?
Thoughts about Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? Tough, though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
Anything to say about Varric?
Varric? Too clever. Always saying something, but never saying it straight.
What's your opinion of Vivienne?
She's a bitch, but she knows. She better.
What about Solus?
Solus? His head's crammed up 1,000 years ago.
What do you think about our spymaster, ambassador, and commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair though.
Ну, осталось только с Вивен вот этой пообщаться. Стервой, как нам сказала та эльфийка. Так, это сейчас квест начнется или как? Угу.
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in a city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
At least we know how to approach the mages and Templars now.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
I could at least find out what the mages want.
No doubt what they've always wanted. Support for their cause.
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
So it'll be dangerous. I've been in danger since I walked out of the Fade.
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave.
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options. There is one other matter. Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in Orlais, but they have also disappeared. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
Grey Wardens? I'm not familiar with them.
They're an ancient order that has existed to fight Darkspawn invasions since the First Blights thousands of years ago. They have faded since those glory days, but haven't disappeared entirely. Ordinarily, their order is neutral in political affairs, but they appear in strange places.
So you're telling me this because...
The others have disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And if he can't?
Then there may be more going on than we thought.
Это намек, возможно, на нового союзника, да? Кстати. Какой-то квест появился. На удивление, вот это, как всегда, появляется, это багнутая какая-то херня, а вот это непонятно. Скорее всего, с тобой нельзя общаться. Я вроде бы не спрашивал про помощь у нее, да?
It may not seem like much, but it would enable my healers to save many lives.
Farewell.
Ладно. Так, сюда, совет, с этой малой пообщаться. Так, подожди, прочесть можно. Отправиться на исследование.
What did you need?
Well, as you are Talvashos, people have asked. You grew up outside the Canary homeland, but there is no easy way to ask your thoughts on the Q.
Have you studied the Qun?
It is a decided gap in my education. I know the Qun is a philosophy, a set of laws, a legislative guide, and a social architecture governing the Qunari. Those who appeared at court, however, insisted the Qun is too complex for an outsider.
They grew up living the Qun. What could we know?
I should like to be given the opportunity. Do you believe in any of the Qun's philosophies?
You can't take a breath in the Qun without someone deciding how long you should hold it. That's not a life for me.
Many won't accept your word by virtue of your birth. People ask how a Qunari could be Andraste's herald. It worries them if they believe it, and angers them if they do not. Convincing them of your good intentions will be tasking.
You'll think of something, Ambassador.
I hope so. It will be interesting. Strangely, your mercenary work is not so
Расисты.
People are fabricating extravagant
За мою нацию мне предъявляет.
They don't know how we held Kelgor's Pass, or tricked an army into surrendering at Valfalaise. These people don't know the half of what I've done.
I noticed. Leliana found a letter from the captain of your last company. He had nothing but praise for your skill in battle, but doesn't mention what part you played.
Captain Tully praised me? William Iron Ass Tully?
That's quite the moniker. But yes, your captain went so far as to say he'd have lost entire battles without you.
I thought Captain Tully didn't even notice me.
It would be difficult to miss someone of your stature, Herald. Perhaps your captain felt it improper to play favorites. He certainly valued your skills in your last engagement.
I was in charge of mercenaries storming the headquarters of the bandits we were to dispatch. We caught them by surprise. It was over before the sentries even blew their horns.
That is impressive. I hope life in Haven doesn't bore you compared to such exploits.
There are some people who've made staying worthwhile.
How wonderful. Oh, you must tell me who they are.
Бывает. Ладно, короче, понятно. Так, а с тобой что-то есть интересное? Сейчас уже должен я серию закончить, прямо сейчас.
I'll speak with you later.
Так, я понял. Тогда, получается, осталось только с той пообщаться и какой-то еще квест. Но закончим, короче, на этом серию. Ну, такая получилась серия. Опять все в разговорах. Плюс 2 союзников залутал. Я понял, что это у меня железо. Проблема в нем, и ему надо отдать отдохнуть. И вроде бы как бы все. Касцены за касценами, подкаты за подкатами. Короче, прикольно. Мне даже опять, знаете, интерес появился к игре. Тоже будем ее проходить. Надо сейчас прокачаться, кстати. Желательно. Только я не помню, что хотел прокачать именно. Кто-то помнит? А, я вспомню. Я вроде бы вот это хотел прокачать. И вот это выкинуть. А вот это... What the fuck? Вот это сюда вставить, а вот это сюда. Все. И теперь можно вот это прокачать и потом думать, что прокачивать. Все, я понял. Все. Тоже подписывайся, комментируй, ставь лайк. Не забывай нажимать на колокольчик, рассказывай друзьям, подписывайся на ТикТок. Увидимся уже в следующем видео. Всем спасибо и всем пока.